Hello. I think part of the reason it's so hard for us to let go of the narcissist when you're in it is because you're letting go of a lot that you thought was going to happen. Or if you're in a relationship with a narcissist 30 years, you're living your future. You're living the plans you talked about 30 years ago, whether it's where you live, if you have a house on the beach or a house in the city or a house in the whatever it is that is your life. Those are plans you talked about before. Now, if you're with a narcissist in a new relationship and they're future faking you, which we talked about that, promising you futures and laying it all out for you, that is still a future that you were planning on. He made you believe, she made you believe your future was going to look a certain way. When suddenly to think about the relationship ending is hard enough. But now you're taking out, and this is, I guess, with any relationship, not just a narcissist, but it's just worse with a narcissist because they future fake you and set you up to think you're having that future. But when you lose that and you're looking ahead, that's an entire loss as well. That's a future loss. Aside from losing the relationship. And and like I said, that's the case even if you're married 30 years and you're divorcing someone and they're not a narcissist. I guess your future is different also, but you can relate to what I'm going to say. Because I say that facetiously because for somebody to lose a 30-year marriage and have their life be different going forward is not but it is when you might have been in a relationship only 2 years, not even 6 months, a year, a new relationship with a narcissist. It doesn't take long for them to list out and promise you very specific future things that will happen for you. And you start to become comfortable in that. Oh, we're going to live together, we're going to get married, whatever it is. And you kind of bet on it in your head. You don't know what a narcissist is. You don't know that you can't believe a word he says. So when the relationship ends, that's an entire loss. Because you did spend time thinking about that future. You did spend time maybe even working towards it in your own life. Changing jobs to get to closer to where you want to be with the narcissist. I mean, whatever. It can really, and again, forget the person married 30 years who suddenly divorces. They both now have different futures in their future. And that's why I say, remember, I'm a child of divorces, I'm a stepchild 3 times. I've seen people's futures change as adults. I've seen big changes happen and shifts, be it relationships end or somebody moves to a new part of the country, and then their life is different. And it can be invigorating. That's why I say, if your whole future, and I know, that's what it is. That's the jarring part about it, is your whole future just changed. When you end a relationship with this narcissist and they have been promising you the world, you hang on to that narcissist because you want what they promised you. You want the reward. You want those prizes. And I don't mean this. It's not what I'm talking about. They promised you safety, security. They're going to be there for you. They're going to love you. They're going to, maybe marry you. You're going to get a place together. I'm not talking about, it doesn't have to be this. That's never what I'm talking about, is money. Whatever he promised you, you have in your heart, soul, mind. You've been betting on it. And you've gone through all this with the narcissist. I'll be darned if I'm not getting those prizes now. That keeps us there. It kept me there. It was like, well, I've been through this much. Heck, if I'm going to throw him back into the world and let somebody else get the prize. The prizes of his future faking. Or even just the prize of him. I thought I was going to change him and he was going to be this great, great man. And by God, I was going to get that prize. The thought of your entire future being eradicated is a very daunting thing for people. And I think it does make us absolutely makes us hang on to the narcissist just a little bit longer. Well, let me give it one more shot. Because you're thinking of everything they laid out for you. Who wouldn't want to hang on to something that they've already worked hard towards, and then they're going to get all this? He keeps talking about all of this. Of course you're going to try. When we keep thinking about the future, and it does hold us to our narcissist, and we are thinking about all of the plans that we talked about, it makes me realize that we're all in the same boat at some point or another where we can't picture things without the narcissist for ourselves. That's a very crucial moment when you lose you're losing everything. You're losing your present relationship, and you're losing your whole future that you thought you'd have. And if you've been married 30 years, you're losing 30 years. Or you feel like, your past is no longer the person you're with. That's got to be jarring. They have an extra step there. But if you can get through that moment and turn it around, this is what I did. I started to think, so what came from, okay, so now what? Now what am I going to do? I still have a future. It's coming. So you got to think outside the box, maybe. You have to realize you have an open palette of possibilities. You have a blank slate, which can be scary, but it also can be exciting and full of open possibilities. You can do anything you want now. You can start thinking about your life with plans in it that you want, that you actually want. Do you know what I'm saying? Oftentimes the narcissist takes those reins, and your life is guided by and becomes their plans and ideas and whatever. Whether or not you've realized that. Maybe you don't want to live by the beach. Maybe you dodged that bullet. Maybe now you can move to the city. Maybe you don't want to retire in China. Maybe you don't want to, go to Aspen every year. Whatever the things are, I don't know. But now it's all your choice. It's your choice. Maybe that's daunting for you, and you don't want a big open palette, and that might be keeping you with your narcissist. Even if the future faking isn't coming, at least it's some kind of future that he's talking about. And maybe you're too scared to come up with your own future for yourself. Maybe you don't. I love the wide openness. Oh my God. Once you have that, I think you'd realize it's intoxicating. It's intoxicating. And I have turned it around and started to work on things of my own, and things are starting to come to fruition now, and I'm creating my own future. Completely different than anything that I would have been in with the narcissist. Completely different than anything the narcissist promised me. I don't need anything that he promised me, but he was making his list of things he was going to do. Yeah, okay. And we were going to be together, and okay. My life is moving forward in fabulous directions. I doubt his is. But yours can too, is my point. I'm sorry, when you see me blinking a lot, it's because I have a fan that I leave that blows right on me. And once in a while, that's when you see me doing that. I feel like the exciting possibility of an open palette where you can now insert anything that you want to do in your life has to be at least entertained by you. If you're too scared to leave your narcissist and you're like, I wouldn't even know what to do with myself. I wouldn't know which direction my life is going to go. I can't think about that. Well, your future is coming whether you're with the narcissist or by yourself. If it makes you more comfortable not having to worry about your whole future just changing, then I guess that is a reason I think that people stay. But if you have left and your whole future just changed and you're feeling a little scared, don't. Get excited. It's a big deal. Everything's different. Everything can be different. Everything is different. And it's never going to be the same. You're never going to be the same person you were pre-narcissist. And your life, hopefully, now will go in a different direction. Before your narcissist, where did you think your life was going to go? Maybe you've learned some things from the experience with the narcissist that made you think, you know what, I do like to do that. He took me skiing, I love it. Guess what? I'm moving to Aspen. I'm moving there. With or without them. You don't need them to, if there was something he listed for you that he never got to, but you're like, oh, that sounded good. Go do it. Without him. You can do any plan you want. That's the point. That's the glory of it. That's the attraction of it. So don't feel daunted like, oh my God, that was my plan. I have nothing. What am I going to do now? So, you're going to figure it out. You're going to do what you want. What does your life look like without the narcissist? What will you do now? What do you want to do? What's your next chapter? Whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, or 60, we all have a next chapter. I'm working on my next chapter. I'm loving the direction it's going in. I'm loving it. And I've had my head down. I've been working hard, and I've been trying to put in the energy and the effort and the time into things that I want to be happening, and they're starting to happen. And that's my future I'm building. That's exhilarating. And it's like a drug. The freedom and the ability to choose for myself is like a drug. That feeling I get from that freedom and ability to choose for myself, that's like a drug. And make things happen for yourself. You don't have to be connected to them to make your future happen. Your whole future just changed. So, what are you going to do now?